Good morning, David here with the AM Debrief. It's 7:57, so just about 3 or 4 minutes to go before the US markets close up here for the end of the Wednesday session. So generally a pretty solid sort of a day. We've got the Dow currently up 82 points, or 0.68%. We did have a little bit of a spanner in the works yet again from Standard & Poor's. They, as we know, put on review some 15 countries in the Eurozone area, and now they are targeting the banks with Société Générale and Deutsche Bank next cabs off the rank for that possible review of their ratings. In the meantime, some appetite came in on the financials in the United States, and perhaps some of their banks are starting to look positively rosy by comparison, with Bank of America up 2.08% and JP Morgan up 2.62%. So yeah, pretty much an update here in the Americas. Standard & Poor's 500 up 0.62 and Nasdaq up 0.23. In Europe, there perhaps that threat of downgrade there on their banks is tempering things somewhat. So we've got the Euro Stocks 50 down 0.5%, the FTSE down a little bit less than that, and the DAX down 0.57. How did things end up yesterday? The Nikkei up 1.71, so a really good move there. The Hang Seng up 1.58, and we'll just have a look here and see what the futures are suggesting for our particular part of the world. Okay, so just down 3 points here, so pretty much steady. We are getting back up towards this level of resistance, which has been a good place to be taking profits in the past, and turning around and looking to go short, but I don't think we're quite there just yet, but we'll have a look at that on the Falcon Trader in a minute. Let's move on now and have a look at commodities. West Texas really holding that $100 handle pretty well, although it is off 75 cents here at the moment. That geopolitical situation in the Middle East there is continuing to keep that pretty well supported there, it seems. As far as the rest of the commodities space, we have looks like more red magenta numbers than green ones. The big movers down look like rough rice, so 1.44 to the downside. Oats 1.89. Sugar down 4.67. That's quite a big move there for sugar. Wheat down 2%, a little bit over. Orange juice 1.11. Cotton 1.60. Corn 0.63. Coffee 2.5. And cocoa 1.2%. Positive moves, really nothing standing out here at all. Maybe canola up just a little over 3/4. That's about it. So pretty down night on in the commodity space. Copper down 2.85 cents, and gold up $13.20 to $17.45, and silver at $32.51. Now to our currency pairs: euro buying 1.3404, just up a little. The pound 1.5703. The US dollar buying 77.6595 yen. The Aussie here at 102.88. US buying 1.01 Canadian, and US buying 92.9240 Swiss francs. Okay, so let's move on to the economic calendar and just have a look at what we've got in store for today. And a couple of bits of data out already. Consumer credit up to $7.64 billion there, so some reasonably good growth in consumer credit, which does suggest consumers are prepared to have a little bit of a go, put things on their credit cards, take out mortgages, and perhaps not mortgages, but yes, consumer credit. GDP estimate for the UK just 0.3%. come in previously at 0.3, came in previously at 0.4. Throughout the day, we've probably the tier 1 data is our employment numbers. We're expecting 10,000 new jobs and employment or unemployment to remain at 5.2%. We had that pretty solid number coming yesterday for GDP, so if we're seeing any of that translate into jobs growth, wouldn't be expected to see that number come in a little bit higher than that, which shouldn't hurt the market here today. Just scrolling down here to see what else is coming out. Bank of England rates decision. I would have thought they've only got one way they can go, and that's down. But they're already pretty jolly close to the bottom there, so not really a lot of room to manoeuvre. And then, of course, we've got a fairly big one tonight. Is the European Central Bank going to be tempted to drop the cash rate there from 1.25 to the expectation of 1%? The way things are going, I would have thought that probably was a fairly prudent move to try and spur things along a little bit there. That takes us into tomorrow, where we have got probably University of Michigan confidence numbers is going to be a fairly big one, and of course the Eurozone EU leaders meet in Brussels to try and thrash out this greater integration, fiscal integration. So that's about it, apart from that Chinese PPI number out as well. Okay, now I haven't really been able to spend any time looking at some new opportunities here, I'm sorry to say. Just looking here at Harvey Norman, which anyone that's been watching the AM Debriefs will know I've been talking about for several weeks now. In fact, I think it's been up and down this trading range about twice since then, and it's almost looking like it's rounding out and going to head back south again here, so almost tempted to say to just cut that trade and take a small loss and get out of it. Okay, let's have a look at the local index. Yes, we are back up towards that level where we've certainly seen resistance in the past. Can't quite get this to cooperate. Here we go. Okay, I was going to try and draw a trend line out here, but okay, now it's cooperating. Not really much of a trend line just at this point because it's only touched twice, so it's not really confirmed. But we could be a little bit liberal with the with that here, and yeah, see what's going to happen here. See if it breaks above that interim trend line here and decides it's going to want to move on up higher, or if it's going to hold, find this a level of resistance and want to move lower again. So that's what I think you're really going to be looking out for. Just have a follow up on a couple of these gold stocks. Kingsgate didn't really like being up above $7 there, it seems. Just bringing up St. Barbara now. Okay, going into a bit of consolidation there, almost sort of a bit of a pretty lopsided sort of head and shoulders here, with left shoulder, right shoulder, and the head. So that's yeah, looking like a bit of a reversal pattern there. So I'm not quite sure where that's going to go from here. ANZ was the other one that I talked about certainly last week, and that's been doing really quite well, so I'm pretty happy about that one. I think that just about leaves it. Energy World Corporation is one I was in and out of some few months ago. In fact, was probably back in October there, and bought it on this rally up here, and then it retraced, and I seem to recall getting out on that move down for a small loss there. But anyone that stayed in that trade would be pretty happy with it right now, I suspect, because it's moving up quite nicely there. Okay, that's it for me for now. Until next time, have a good day's trading. Bye now.